So last time we were here, we were unboxing the RX2, which is Emlid's brand new GPS receiver for their N-Trip series of light GPS receivers to go out and collect points and other sorts of survey capabilities. But we have been so graciously given a Christmas gift from Emlid themselves in a RS4 Pro, and we're going to be unboxing that today. The new RS4 Pro is their brand new GPS receiver that came out about a month or so ago. This has a brand new board in it, about 600 and some odd channels on there. It has the ability to do not just N-Trip, but also LoRa and UHF, both transmit and receive. And the RS4 Pro has better tilt capability and compensation on there. You can log and record points, and the Pro itself specifically has two AR cameras on there, one facing out and one facing down. So thank you, Emlid, for sending us this GPS receiver for unboxing and being able to review and use out in the field. Let's go ahead and get into unboxing this new unit. All right, so if we're taking a look at just the box here, the RS4 Pro, it's a really nice presented box. You've got the Emlid GPS receiver right on there, kind of some things around the side here. And if you look at the back though, it doesn't really tell you what comes inside of the box. So it's going to be a little bit of a surprise compared to the RX2 to figure out what all comes inside of here. So let's go ahead and break this out right now. Always like, ooh, God, I just threw that off to the side. There we are. Let's get the plug. I think it's a little piece of tape that got lodged in there. So we can open that up. Open this up. Look at that. There's a nice case that's in here. A really nice case for the GPS receiver. We got a little something over here. It looks like the webbing to the carrying case. Wow, that's quite the nice case for it. Look at that. That's really nice. All right, take my knife there, put it off to the side. All right, we'll open this up. Look at that. That's quite nice. Quite nice. Slide the GPS receiver out. Ooh, you know, in a lot of the images, it makes it look like it's black, but it's actually more of a silver color. Nice steel, silvery color on there. A little bit of gunk there, but not so bad, I would say overall. Looks great. And it looks like you've got two radio receivers here, or it looks like you have two antenna here, and one of them looks like it's for the UHF and the other one looks like it's for the LoRa. So they provide you with the antennas that go with the GPS receiver itself, which is really, really, really handy. And then you got a really nice cable that comes with it. Oh, I dropped something. It's an Allen wrench that I dropped there. And then you have your manual there, your quick start guide to get you going. Let's take a look at this GPS receiver a little bit more closely. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down off to the side, close the case. All right. So you've got your battery indicator down below, and then your whether or not it's fixed is going to be right here down below. Guessing those are going to be lighting up right there. You have your USB cable extension, which is right here for your USB cable. And then your radio receiver, which goes into the other side right there. And then it looks like, what's here? This is probably, yeah, your multi-plug for connecting it up to car batteries, or if you have another radio extender, like a range extender and whatnot. Oh, but look at this. You haven't even taken these off. I like taking these things off right here. Ooh, the bottom camera and the front-facing camera. Look at that there, front-facing camera and the bottom camera there. Those are going to come in handy. Now, I'm guessing, though, that if you wanted to put a SIM card in here, you'd probably put it in the compartment right there. I don't see an open SIM slot in here currently. So maybe I'll open up these things again, take a look and see. Now I'm guessing your SIM card slot is going to go probably somewhere in here. Well, we'll have to confirm that for sure. Other than that, it's quite a nice looking receiver. This is definitely metal. That's aluminum. That's definitely aluminum or steel construction there, with the plastic top there, so that way your GPS receiver can actually transmit, but it's robust. And then you can see on the bottom right there, there's a little connector bit for their new quick connects that goes onto there. And we'll be looking at that here later. So this is everything that you get in the new RS4 Pro kit. So you get the GPS receiver head, you get your lanyard for your bag, which is a much nicer bag, mind you. You get the 2 antennas for your LoRa and your UHF. You also get a really, really nice cable, USB-C to USB-C cable for data transfer and recharging. You get your quick start guide, and you get a little Allen wrench. That Allen wrench looks like it hooks into, or is able to open up all the ports and everything that are on the front here. Now, this is a significant improvement over their last design, I would say, and even their last GPS receiver head. And in fact, just to kind of look over the last GPS receiver head, I have my RS2, which is the older, chunkier boy, which is the same build as the RS3, but the RS2 is what I've been running with for a lot of helping out with land surveying and helping with doing ground control shots and whatnot. And I actually know of some land surveyors that are running with RS3s, and they're getting excellent capabilities out of it. And RS4 is going to be even a more significant capability. But some of the things that I really like is that you'll kind of notice this guy's a little bit beat up, and these guys have a tendency to really rip at the bottom of them. There's no way to get real replacements on them. However, I think this is a way better improvement on these rubber gaskets down below. They're way more out of the way. They're not going to collect water. And there's also, I'm going to pop one of these open and see if you can actually see it in the camera there. There's an Allen key setup that you could just take these off entirely if you really need to. And not to mention the quick connect that's on here. Let's go ahead and pull that thing out. Boom. Here's your quick connect. Let's kind of move it off to the side there. This quick connect has a key in the top of it that allows you to be able to mesh this together with the blue mark on there, mesh it together, and then a nice satisfying click. And that thing is locked in. It's not moving around. Just to kind of add ASMR kind of thing. Click on there. It makes that really easy to take on and off, because I can tell you right now, taking these things on and off constantly and having to move them around from different poles and whatnot gets really cumbersome. So having something that's always locked, stable, not moving around is really nice. The nice part too is that this also works with their new RX2. So the RX2 has the same keyhole setup on the bottom of it. And that keyhole setup, you line it up with the blue, push it in, and it locks. Hold that lever down, undo it, and it pulls right out. Real nice, real easy, real simple. So, as far as the Emlid lineup goes, you have your RS4 and RS4 Pro. The RS4 doesn't have any of the cameras on it. The RS4 Pro has the 2 camera capabilities on there. The RX2 has none of the cameras, no LoRa or way to record, but it has N-trip, really easy to set up, and it has the new tilt function. The Rover, or sorry, correction, not Rover, I said Rover because it's got it on there, but your RS3 has tilt capability on there, the ability to log points. It doesn't have the new L5, L6 band that's on there. These two have the new L5, L6, so these two have L1, L2, L5, L6. This has L1 and L2 on there. These don't have, the RS3s have the ability to receive UHF, but don't have the ability to transmit UHF unless you put a booster or extender on there. So I think if you want to be able to use UHF or LoRa, your RS4 Pro is going to be way better at being able to do multiple different tasks. Fun fact too, inside of the Emlid Flow app, the Emlid Flow 360 app on your phone, you can transmit up to 2 different ways to transmit corrections in and out. You can have N-trip and UHF, and I've used that out in the field, and it is a game changer because you're able to hold on N-trip, and then if you lose N-trip connection, it'll latch on to UHF, and I've done that with the RS3, and it works phenomenally, especially if you're out in the boonies. So having that extra way to be able to say, okay, cool, I lost my cell signal, but I still have UHF that I can operate on, makes it way better to be able to transmit with, because instead of having to go back and change everything, it's just preset and everything's good to go. So you're going to be able to get a lot more capabilities out of these. Now, we went over some of the use case of where the RX2 is supposed to be able to be in. Where do I think that the RS4 fits in? Well, considering that I have used, and there are land surveyors that have been using the Emlid setups for corrections out in the field, you can use these for more land surveying purposes. We've been able to check in within 700ths of a foot onto monuments. It is absolutely wonderful. And the money that you save on being able to get a competent, GPS receiver setup, you can spend that money on getting a really nice total station. So you can save a little bit of money on these, get a really nice total station if you need to be dead on accurate. And that's going to help you with flexing on more projects instead of spending $20,000 on a GPS receiver setup that in reality is really about the same working capability as this. There's other videos out there too that have gone through much more extensive testing showing that there isn't much of a difference between a bunch of other GPS receivers. And considering this new one, I'm interested to see how this punches weight. Call out to Third Dimension because they're the ones who actually went and kind of looked at how low-grade and high-grade GPS receivers worked. Love that video. And it really did show that there isn't too much of a difference. There is a difference in certain categories, but there isn't too much of a difference between your low and high-grade GPS receivers. And you could really use your money on a really good total station to be able to help boost your business out there. Other than that, the ability to also take photos, excellent. To add to all of your points. And another thing to keep in mind too, you don't have to use the Emlid Flow app. You can use this with other programs that allow NMEA streaming. So things like Field Genius or I think it was CHC Nav has one of their programs, and then also another one that I've seen out there. There is more than that, of course, but you can use other GPS receiver field collection apps to use with these GPS receivers. So you're not going to be just stuck with, oh, I have to be in this ecosystem. You can be in a lot of other different ecosystems out there too with these GPS receivers if you so wish. So they're really open, really easy to work with. Definitely recommend them. Also, as a little kicker here, this video is sponsored by Emlid since they did send me a GPS receiver, and also we are an Emlid affiliate. We do have a code in our comments, or not comments, inside of our post that if you click on that, I get a little bit of a kickback if you ever purchase any of these GPS receivers. Another thing too is that if you're in the Inland Northwest area and you need help setting these GPS receivers up, Scout Aerial Solutions is willing to help with consultation to see if these actually work with what you're doing right now, if these are going to work with the workflow you have, or if you need to help setting them up. We've actually helped with a couple of different engineering firms and survey firms with helping to set these GPS receivers up for them and get them running and off to the racetrack. So if you need to, give us a call. We can help with consultation on being able to help you set up with these new GPS receivers. We also help with setting up for any kind of reality capture inside of your company, or if you need to know if you don't want to do that at all. So anyways, thanks Emlid for sending these your way, or sending these our way. And have a good brand new 2026. Get yourself started with something new.